Hey everyone, this is Jim of From Scratch Farmstead, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own seed starting mix. Alright, so here on our farmstead we've been starting our own seeds for our garden for the past few years, and at one point we switched from buying a pre-mixed seed starting mix in the store to making our own. And we found out it's really simple to just buy everything you need, buy some different ingredients, mix them together and make your own seed starting mix, and you get a lot more bang for your buck that way. And so what we're going to mix together today is we have a bucket here of just some compost from around the farm, and just something that's basically your soil or something that's composted down really good. This is a mixture of cow and chicken manure. We also bought a bag of mushroom compost that we're going to mix in with that. And so that is from a local mushroom grower. And if you have somebody that grows mushrooms locally, likely they are selling some mushroom compost as well. And that's really good stuff, has a lot of nutrients built in to add into either your soil for starting seeds or even just into your garden. There's also peat moss, which peat moss is going to help your seed starting mix retain a lot of moisture. Vermiculite also helps with that as well. Vermiculite basically just kind of aerates the soil, makes it really light and airy, and helps maintain moisture as well. And then there's your soil amendments that you're going to add in, and you can really kind of mix and match and blend these whichever way you want. So nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, NPK, are the things that you're going to be adding into the soil. And so nitrogen kind of helps the growth above ground. That's what helps things, the plant itself, really grow above the ground. Phosphorus is going to help grow the root system and things underground, and also help things like fruiting functions of the plant. And then potassium, the last one, kind of just helps support all of those functions. And so you want a good balance of NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium in there. I recommend, there's no magic formula here. Really, whatever you find at the store that looks like it has a good mix of those three things. I have fish bone meal, alfalfa meal, and then there's a bag of organic fertilizer here that is made up of composted chicken manure. And so you'll actually see the ratios of NPK listed on here. Like this one has 3:16:0, and each one of those has their own. So you just want to make sure you're getting some with nitrogen, some with phosphorus, some with potassium. Get a mix of all three of those things in your soil. Okay, so the other thing that you're going to need is a good wheelbarrow. I like to use a deep one so nothing spills out. So that's where you're actually going to mix your seed starting mix in. So you're just going to pour all the ingredients in, mix it in your wheelbarrow, and use that to then transfer it to your seed trays. And then you're going to want a shovel of some sort. I like to use one with a flat bottom. This is like an edging spade, and that just helps you kind of scoop out of the wheelbarrow. Also kind of helps you flatten off the tops of your seed starting trays, skim the tops so that you get a nice smooth layer of seed starting mix to start with in your trays. And so, and just to show you the trays here, this is a 72 cell tray. You can really get these at any garden center. We've gotten ours in the past. This one's from Johnny's. I like the Johnny's ones. They always seem a little more substantial, and seem like they last longer than ones you get at a big box store or something like that. So, so this is the seed tray. So this is what we're going to fill with our seed starting mix once we mix it up here. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started mixing it. So we're going to take first our compost, and I'm going to dump this whole bucket in. We're going to be mixing it up for a few different trays here. Also, a little gardening spade is very helpful too, to break up clumps or scoop things out. And again, we don't have a magic formula for this. It's sort of just whatever seems right. I think you've probably seen a seed starting mix before, so you just want something that's kind of light and airy and fluffy to start your seeds in, nothing too compacted. And so you could kind of just start with your base like soil compost mixture, and then just build from there. Add in, if it seems too dense, add in some more vermiculite or peat moss, which we'll get to. So that's sort of how we go about it. There's no magic to it. All right, so I'm going to add some of the mushroom compost now. Alright, and so you want to make sure that you just mix that up really good so everything's very thoroughly mixed in and incorporated into the seed starting mix. As you can tell, I went back and added a couple things a few different times, added more vermiculite or more mushroom compost, just until it seems like you kind of got the texture and consistency right. And again, there's no magic formula. You're giving your seeds a really good start with making your own mix and really having control over what's in there, using your own compost, using local sources of mushroom compost, things like that. All right, so I think I got it at the consistency here that I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting it into the seed trays. And again, I like to do this in the wheelbarrow. If you try and do it outside of the wheelbarrow, you end up spilling a lot and losing a lot and wasting a lot. So I like to just kind of keep the tray in there and just fill it right inside my wheelbarrow. So we'll just kind of put it in. Again, you don't really want to pack it in. You just want to place it in there, let it kind of fill on its own. Because you want to keep it nice and airy. If there's any big clumps you find, break them up. If there's any big like sticks or anything else, you might want to pull those out because those might just interfere with this, with a seed, with a small delicate seed that's starting to grow. You may just want to pull out anything, bigger chunks that are in there. But hopefully everything should be mostly fine if you start with kind of a good composted soil, and then the mushroom compost and everything else is just smaller particles. Alright, so I'm just gonna take the shovel, kind of scrape it flat across the top and get those cells nice and filled in. They do tend to compress a little bit once you start watering them, so you may even want to leave them a little high on top. Just do a final kind of smoothing out here. All right, so that's our completed seed tray. So we made our own seed starting mix, added it to the tray, and now we're ready to plant our seeds for our garden for this year. And so it's a really simple, basic process to make your own seed starting mix. It really only took a few minutes. You just go out and kind of buy all the components, get them together, mix them up in your wheelbarrow, put them in your trays, and then you're ready to go. So we hope you found this video helpful. If you want to check out more homestead how-tos, nourishing recipes, and tips for natural living, you can subscribe to our channel. And thanks for stopping by the Farmstead today, and we'll see you next time.